Okay, welcome back, you guys. So today I wanted to make this video, and it should tell you basically in the description what it's about. So I'm making this video on YouTube so that way people that are my subscribers, and it'll be posted to Facebook so that way people could, my friends and family can actually watch the video too. So that way they can kind of get an understanding about how I feel about basically how my life is, or how I basically started out, because I feel like I am a very smart person, and I'll even put information in the description of my video so that you guys can see it, and you can basically try to understand where I'm coming from. So years ago when I was in middle school, I had a teacher, a science teacher, that showed a video about he showed us a movie for class. It was called Phenomenon, with John Travolta being the actor, and it has to do with him becoming a very smart person, and wanting to basically show people what he was capable of doing and try to communicate with others. It was made in 1996, and it's an old movie, and I still watch the movie here and there sometimes. Like, I'll just watch the movie just because in the movie kind of makes me think about how my life started out, basically. Like, that's one of the reasons why I make my YouTube videos, is because I want to make sure that if I learn something and people are having a hard time like I used to have whenever I didn't know what was going on and I wanted to learn what the problems were, that I would like to look at. I always like watching YouTube videos about things that people make, like DIY projects, or basically anything that has to do with electronics and machines, basically. So in the movie of Phenomenon, John Travolta's name is called George Malley. It's Mally, Malley, and he has a birthday, and when he gets outside, he was at a birthday party at first at like a bar type of place, and his friends and everybody came to celebrate with him for his birthday. So he decides to start to go home because it was getting late. So he goes outside, and then he looks up in the sky, and then there was a bright light that flashed, and it knocked him down to his feet in the middle of the street. Oh no, he fell on his back, basically. And he finds out, he winds up having basically like the same issue later on in the movie about him having that flash of light. And then later on he finds out that he has actually a tumor in his head that was making his brain smarter and make him think about things more. So I don't really know, I never researched it, but I'm thinking about looking into if I ever had some kind of issue like that. Like if I ever had like a tumor in my head that I didn't know that was there. So recently, like a few years ago, I don't know if you guys seen it, but I do have videos on my YouTube about me buying and trying to work on my Honda Grom motorcycle, and I was even trying to make a automatic start for the motorcycle using some microprocessors like Arduino, and that's basically like a little motherboard that you can put coding into to make it do things for you. So I was making videos about it, and I loved the motorcycle because I used to watch these YouTube videos about the motorcycle, because in another country that I seen, they had like an obstacle course that was showing people using the motorcycles on these obstacle courses, doing all kinds of stunts and tricks. But I decided to get me the motorcycle because I thought it was going to be safe because it was smaller than a regular size motorcycle. But the motorcycle wound up having an issue. A few years ago, I got into a motorcycle accident, and I found out after the accident that the brakes on my motorcycle locked up on the bike, and it flipped me completely off of the bike, and then I landed in grass, and I wasn't wearing a helmet. I never thought I needed it because it was supposed to be a safe motorcycle, that it shouldn't have been giving me issues. But I flipped into some grass when I was riding in the street. The bike locked up on me when I was pressing on the brake lever, and then it flung me off of it, and I landed into like grass, and the bike fell on top of me. So I was with my sister's boyfriend. He was riding his motorcycle, so we were riding motorcycles together. And when he seen I got into the accident, he came to check on me, and he noticed that I wasn't breathing. So another person, I think it was my sister's boyfriend, told me that it was a lady that was driving her car and saw me have the accident, so she called the police, and that's how I got into the hospital, basically, about it. So I wasn't breathing for a little while, and during the accident, after the accident happened, I actually winded up getting put into a coma, and I was in a coma for over a year. And I was in the hospital for over, basically I was not home for like 2 years, and I just got home like basically over a year ago. I would say almost 2 years ago. And that's why I've been posting videos pretty much like almost every week on YouTube, because I did remember about me making videos about things that I like to make and design, and trying to teach people things that I know. So what I'm trying to get at here is, I'm not sure if I actually did have, like, if that movie was a realistic type of movie about people that have tumors that helps make their brain smart, like them smarter because they had a tumor or something of that nature, and why I became so smart. So if you guys are looking at watching the movie, watching my video, or even watched or seen the movie, and if it is a true thing, I will like you guys to comment in the video down below, so that way I can look into what you think this issue is. But I know that I've always been pretty smart. So basically my whole life I've always been into electronics. My grandmother, she brought me my first ever computer, and she knew that I was always interested in electronics, so that's why she bought me the computer. And it was only when I was like 8, maybe 9, when she bought me the new computer. So I was always into computers, and she knew that I was into electronics. So that's the reason why that's how I started learning about all these DIY projects with electronics and doing things of this nature. So that's one of the starts of how I started becoming so smart, and why I started doing YouTube videos. Because if I couldn't find a video on what I was trying to learn or understand, I would just use like Google to look up and read theses from like college professors that made a blog, or any kind of posted any kind of information about what I was looking into. So since I wasn't able to find some of the videos that I was looking for, I started making my own videos whenever I did start figuring everything out, so that way people can be able to figure out what I know now. so that way they didn't have to worry about reading through a whole bunch of paperwork like I used to have to do. So I was always interested in helping people out whenever I wanted to learn something, or if I knew something, I wanted to make sure that you guys would know what I know, so that way it'll help you out in whatever endeavors you're trying to do with your life. So my whole reason for this video was just to explain what had happened to me and how I feel and how I became so smart. And when I got out of my coma, that was years ago, and well, maybe like 2, maybe 3 years ago. But the doctors were telling my family, like my girlfriend at the time and my sister, that they should give up on me and pull the plug on me and let me die, because they were thinking, they told me that the doctors told them that I was gonna not be able to come out of the coma right, and that I was going to be a vegetable and I wasn't going to be able to walk or talk or do anything that I'm doing nowadays. And they didn't expect me to be able to do anything that I can do now for 5 years, basically. Even when I came out of the coma, they told them that. And I've been doing just fine. I still make my YouTube videos and still try to do DIY projects, and I am still learning things that I don't know. And I even go back to my older videos to watch and learn from my past self, so that way I know what I did used to know. So they didn't think that I was going to get my memory back. And when in the hospital, the doctors told my family that I wasn't going to get my memory back, and that I was just going to be a vegetable my whole life and not be able to walk, talk, or do anything that I can do now. And they expected that if I was able to be able to start getting back to my normal self, that it was going to take 5 years for that to happen. But it's only been maybe 3 years since I came out of my coma, and that's another reason why I don't really like doctors, because I feel like all they do is read these manuals and books, and that's how they learn when they're like in college. And now they just think they pretty much know everything, even though they don't experience anything that I've had to deal with. So like, it's not like doctors go to college just to learn on how people have comas or have accidents or have like brain damage, like how basically I had. I don't know if you guys could see it, but I had like a scar from them having to actually cut into my head to work on my brain, because my family had told me my eye, like during the accident, my eye was hanging out of my socket, so my eye was dangling down, and like I had all kinds of issues with my brain and being in a coma basically. So that's why my family thinks that I'm basically disabled, is what they think basically. But I'm not disabled. I'm still able to do anything that I used to do, and they basically are always thinking that there's something wrong with me. But there's nothing wrong with me. I mean, sure, I have feelings and thoughts that may not be what they believe, but that's just me. Like, I can't explain exactly how they feel or why they think that way about me sometimes, but that's basically what's been going on with me in my life for the last like 2, almost 3 years now. And I know that I'm still a very smart person, and I still have I feel like I have all my memory back, because I remember things years ago. I still remember my father when he died, and the things that me and my dad talked about, and things that I have experienced in my life since I was a very young age. So like, I don't believe those doctors were telling the truth to my family, because it hasn't been 5 years for me to know all these things that I know. So like I was mentioning, that movie Phenomenon with John Travolta, he in the movie, he wants to tell people, like how I'm doing on YouTube, he goes to a library, like fair type of area, to be able to have people be able to come and talk to him about what he knows and what he learned and what books he's read. So that's basically what my YouTube videos are always about, is about what I do know and what I want to show people if they are trying to figure out something that I wanted to know. So that's one of the reasons why I make my YouTube videos and why I continue to do so, because I am still learning, because I don't feel like I know everything in life. There is a lot of things that I do know, and I'm still interested in learning other things, because that's just how I love my life. I live my life like how I present myself. So I am always interested in learning something new, especially when it comes to doing electronics, like computers or cell phones or pretty much anything. So that's the reason why I'm making this video, so that way you guys could kind of understand where I'm coming from and why I wasn't around for years. So like, the reason I was gone and nobody has heard or seen from me on YouTube for years is because I was in a coma in a hospital, locked up. Like, the hospital people weren't even letting me leave to go home. They told my family that this house that I live in wasn't capable of me to live there, because they thought it wasn't safe for me to be here, because they didn't think I was going to be able to walk or talk. So like, living where I live, I have steps. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that back door back there, but that's my back door, and there's steps right there. And it doesn't have like a guard on it where I can hold on to, but my front door does. But the doctors just told my family that I wasn't going to be able to live here, so that's why they weren't letting them take me home. So instead of going home, the doctors made my family put me into a rehab location. So I was there after I got out of the hospital, I finally had left the emergency hospital, like the emergency room, and I was put into a rehab location for another like 2 months, I would say, after I got out of the hospital. So that's one of the reasons why nobody has heard from me or seen from me on Facebook or on YouTube. And I wanted to make sure that you guys knew exactly what was happening with me, because I know I have a lot of subscribers on there, and I know a lot of you guys care about me and want to know what I've been up to, and especially the people that are into my fingernails, because I have a subscriber that's on there that had messaged me and sent comments about the latest videos about my fingernails, like me talking about wanting to grow my nails for another 4 months straight, so that way I can use them again for all my projects that I like to work on. Just picking up, I use my fingernails a lot to pick up little screws and nuts. So he told me in the video, in the comments, he told me that he's glad that I'm back and that I'm working on my nails again, because he said that I was a low-key legend in the male fingernail community, basically. Because I started years ago about me talking about my fingernails, because I had another subscriber tell me that she wanted me to make a video about how I keep my nails clean and why I let them grow so long. So I did that for her, and then that video just became very popular. So everybody looks at my videos about my fingernails and they are really interested in it. So that's one of the reasons why I've been doing lately videos about my fingernails. Like, I made one like yesterday about me tapping on objects with my fingernails, so that way I could show you guys that my fingernails are pretty well, and they are really hard and durable. They're not soft, so they won't snap or break on me. They won't hurt. Like, I can't hurt myself with these nails because they're really strong. So I'm making this video for everybody that is probably interested in what has happened to me and why I was gone for so long. And hopefully you guys do want to look at that video about John Travolta's phenomenon, and hopefully that'll help make you guys understand where I'm coming from and why I feel like I'm so smart. So maybe in the past that I had a tumor in my brain that I didn't know that was there, that was helping me to become a real smart person. I don't know if that's really the case for all smart people or not, or if that's a real thing that actually happens to people. But if you guys believe that it's true, or actually looked into it before and know that it is real, please comment down below and let me know, so that way I'm not just making something up for you. And in the video, he winds up finding out that he has a tumor and that it's actually killing him. Even though it's making him smarter, it's actually killing him. So like, I'm not sure if that's the case or was the case with me. I don't feel like I have a tumor. At least, I don't know if I had one before the accident or not. But I'm thinking that when I did have the accident and I was in a coma, that one of these guys had to cut open my head to work on my brain and stuff. Maybe I don't have the tumor anymore if I did have one. So I'm thinking that if you guys want me to, I'm thinking that I should probably go to like a hospital and have them do like a brain scan to see if I actually had a tumor, or if I do have one still, if I had a tumor, or if I'm not even sure if I even had one or if I still have one. But I don't feel like there's anything wrong with me. I mean, you would think I think that you would know if you would have like an issue with your body. So like brain damage or memory loss, and I don't feel like that at all. So like, I hope you guys are liking the video. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And like I mentioned, I'm making this video for everybody that is interested. So like my family members that may want to know what happened to me, because I know a lot of my family members weren't able to come to the hospital to check on me to see what was going on, because I live in Florida and a lot of my family members either live in Puerto Rico or in Meriden, Connecticut, basically. So that's one of the reasons why I'm making this video, so that way I can explain to them, because I know some of my family members do watch my YouTube videos. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knew what has happened to me and what I'm basically still dealing with right now in my life. Like, I have always had these thoughts and ideas inside of my head, and I still have those thoughts and feelings even after this coma and accident, because I'm still learning things and doing things that I used to do, and I still have these ideas and feelings about things that I want to learn and things that I want to do in my life. So I just want to make sure that you guys all know that, and hopefully you guys are interested. And if you do want to see, like, this could be like a part 1 video. So if you want to see more of how my progress is of my life and what I'm trying to do with the rest of my life as long as I'm still alive, I will make a part 2 video if you guys comment down below. And please look at the description of the video so that you guys can see. If you haven't seen the video of John Travolta's phenomenon, I will post a link or like a video of YouTube that shows like a trailer or like a skit from the movie, so that you guys can watch it and see what I'm talking about here, about the whole tumor and brain damage and becoming smart, basically. So hopefully you guys are liking the video. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate anybody interested, and like I mentioned, comment down below. I look at my comments every day now on YouTube just to make sure. I go back to my previous video that I post, like yesterday, or like today, I will probably look up this video tomorrow just to see if anybody had commented me, because I know this. I tried to make my videos kind of short and smaller now because YouTube lately hasn't been wanting me to upload my videos if they're longer than 15 minutes now, and they don't really send me messages from the comments that you guys give me. So that's why I've been going back to my old videos to see if anybody had left a comment inside the video, because YouTube has been having issues sending me information about the replies or comments that people have been posting in my videos. So I've been trying to just look them up myself, since YouTube and Google hasn't really been messaging me about them. I hope you guys liked the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.